Hey team, welcome back to the insanity! Last episode I had finished the vault and these cute little guys used magic to fix up the bus. No one in town asks questions and that's probably for the best. Got a quest from Demetrius that I most certainly will not do. Time to head back into the community center to complete a bundle, and here I am buying bombs. In this part of my run, I decided to do a lot of cave diving, so you're going to see a lot of mining. I headed into the regular mines to look for iron ore and anything else that I might need. I got a decent amount of iron this day, 150, that's pretty good. And as you can see here, I have 415 right now, which is really good, but I'm going to need it all. The next day, I made some more bombs, kept the smelting going, and filled the silos some more by scything this grass. I leave little pieces here and there because they spread out in any direction, so I don't want to just scythe it all away. I want to leave some pieces. I bought a ticket to ride to the desert, and then I destroyed the foliage over there. Even these trees are not safe in this run. After killing all the trees at the desert, I went into the skull cavern for one of many dives. And I do like to eat spicy eel before I go in because it gives you a speed boost and an extra point towards your luck. I didn't have any money or other urgent things at this point keeping me from spending all of my time in the mines and spending gold on bombs. Unless, of course, you do something stupid, like not pay attention and get knocked out. Why I decided to take on 3 of these serpents and not pay attention to my health? I'm not sure. That wasn't what did it for me. See that tricky rock right there? That's not an iridium rock. That's a crab. And that's a knocked out me. I lost a lot of stuff, but luckily I wasn't super disappointed in what I had lost. So that's not gonna hurt this run. It hurts my pride. I got a quest from Key to get down to level 40 in the skull cavern, and then I would get 10,000 gold. I added a few more tappers to these trees and harvested the resin, the oak resin that's ready. Then I made a bunch of kegs, 18 of them. I don't have a shed yet, so these ones are gonna have to hang out in this awkward spot for now. Things are a bit awkward on the farm, but that's just kind of how early Stardew is. When you don't have things in their permanent spots or decorated nicely. Then it's back to the desert for the galaxy sword. I've held the prismatic shard in that spot for the galaxy sword so many times, and it doesn't ever feel less special. You know what I mean? Something about the music, the sound effects, and the sparkle make it a joy each time. I don't think I'll ever get sick of it. So then I mined my way down, killing things, finding ladders, you know how it goes. Made it down to level 42. And then I had to teleport home because it was getting late. I also usually put jade in my first few crystallariums because on Sundays at the Desert Trader, you can trade it in for ladders, which is extremely helpful in any mine. The next morning, I got 10 grand from Key for getting past level 40 in the Skull Cavern. Very nice. It's time to pick blueberries. So fun to do. And then make some cauliflower juice. Would you drink cauliflower juice? That sounds horrendous to me. I sold the bloobs at Pierre's, which just means I'll get the money right away. I could use that money then to go to Robin to make a shed. I also really love the way that you can put stuff in the shed and then move it and all that stuff stays in the shed. It was a great feature. So here I am just fertilizing the ungrown oak trees so I can get those grown and tapped as quickly as possible. And then it's back to the Skull Cavern. And you know, while playing this run, I hadn't gone to the Skull Caverns this much for a while because I usually have other goals and other things going on. But I didn't really have anything else to do. And I quickly discovered that although it's a bit expensive for bombs, I could make a lot of gold and ore by doing these dives. Also, iridium bars are decent money this early on. I stopped by Clint's to upgrade the pickaxe, which will make those Skull Cavern dives much easier. Without a pickaxe now, though, I spent some time fishing. Kind of felt like I had to be always doing something or sleeping. But at the beginning of the run, I like to get as much done as possible, as fast as possible, in most of my playthroughs. Sold some old weapons that I would not be needing anymore, and rings. Make a little bit of money doing that. And then spent some more time fishing. On the 25th, I built silo number 6. I left Robin's and I picked this grape from the ground and gave it to Linus. And he acted like I did some great deed, so my good deed for this run is done. My summer forageables were done and I made some more. But this time I did not plant them, I sold a whole bunch of them. And it's too late in the season to plant them anyway. Then I harvested these melons. I bought some wheat to replace the melons. So that'll grow into fall. Then I picked up my pickaxe, planted a little bit more wheat there, and with that upgraded pickaxe, I went back to the Skull Cavern. Big surprise. I just really wanted you to hear this. I love blowing up a group of mummies. It makes such a fun sound. So that night I leveled up foraging to 8, so I can make the farm warp totem now. And you can see here that 170 summer seeds sells for almost 9,400 gold. So that's really pretty good, especially in year 1. Like, this is the last days of summer, year 1. So yeah, that's a good amount of gold. I'm happy with that. That cauliflower juice was done, and so was the shed. So I moved the kegs inside. And then I started melon wine, which will be a good profit. And this is what I was talking about in an earlier episode, where I had the time to wait for melons to be done and get the profit from that instead of using the profit from big blueberry fields right away. I always leave one keg outside so I know when the wine is done. That way I don't have to go inside the building and check. I harvested melons and blueberries. Please enjoy watching and listening to me do that. I went back to Pierre's to pick up radish seeds. If you watch my Stardew stuff, you'll know why I do this. I buy cheap seeds at the end of the season that will die at the beginning of the next one. That way I can scythe away the weeds and be left with tilled and watered soil for the new crop. So I don't have to hoe and water each spot. It's already going to be done for me. Yes, it is best to do this with a crop that you can harvest in the next season, but if I haven't timed it correctly, the crop won't be ready on the 1st or 2nd and throw off the new crop harvest times. And I will show you what I mean by this when we get to the 1st of fall. I'm just cutting down some grass here to fill silos. And here I am placing some of the fences for the pig pens. I'll stick a picture up of the farm I created, which is the potential layout for the barns. If you are wondering, I made this online. It is called Stardew Planner. You can type this into Google to get to the website, or go to stardew.info. It is a website with most of the farm types where you can place items to plan out your farm. I used it when I did True Perfection in 2 years and for bigger projects like this, where I don't want to spend the in-game time trying to figure out my layout. So you can see that I wanted to have 5 rows of 5 barns. That would be 25 in total, and that was the plan. I'll talk more about this later as I work up to it. I'm going to need lots of hardwood to complete this monstrosity. I planted hardwood trees and fertilized them to help with that. The next day, I got Robin to upgrade the shed. And then it was the 1st of fall. I collected this oak resin, and then it's time to work on crops. You can see that the hay is not quite ready to be scythed away up top there and has 1 more growing day. But where the radishes were, the crops had died and I can scythe those away to plant new ones. The hay taking 1 more day won't make a big difference, but had I planted hay where the radishes were, this would have set me back by several days and therefore made it so I could not get 2 pumpkin harvests without using speed grow, which I just didn't want to spend the extra money on. I bought 1,000 pumpkin seeds, not entirely sure how many I'd need, but I will soon find out if it was enough or not. So I got those all planted. This is a ton of crops. Not as much as when I did True Perfection in 2 years though. So I have 208 pumpkin seeds left over. On the 2nd, I added more kegs to the shed. And yes, it is super awkward to watch because it's weird with a controller. I am playing this on Xbox. I harvested the wheat that was not ready yesterday. And I am getting some hay out of it, which is really nice. So I can add that to the silos. Then I planted some more pumpkin seeds in that place. And don't worry, I've got the seeds for the community center going as well. Then I went to Robin to build my very first of many barns. And that's where it will go according to the layout I had made. Then it's back to the skull cavern I go. Don't really have a particular goal. Like, I am trying to get down far and collect a lot of ore. Other than that, not really a goal. I was really hoping this would be 25 auto petters. But no. It's just this energy tonic. And I always bomb these treasure levels because they often have shafts in them. This one didn't. It was just a ladder. Once again, not 25 auto petters, but instead energy tonic. Those didn't happen in a row, by the way. I just cut out the stuff in between. And then I passed out in the mines. Not really a big deal. Oh well. Linus pulled me out for free, so... Ooh, the owl statue! That's fun. Here I am just collecting some more hay from the grass again. Just thinning it out so it can continue to grow and get me more hay. I can see from the keg outside that the melon wine is ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and collect all that and then put some more in there to make more. And I'll just continue to make melon wine and then pumpkin juice until that's all done. And I was hoping that would be close to enough money. I went over to Clint's to upgrade my axe since I need a ton of wood for this project. Then I went over to the community center and plugged some items into those bundles. If you were curious, this is what my skills are looking like in fall year 1. So almost all the way with everything. Doing very good. And then I went back to the desert for, surprise, more skull cavern. I didn't show how far I went down on that dive, but, you know, it's probably between 40 and 80. I had Robin build silo number 7. Okay, and now this is the side quest. As I was playing, my son was around. He's young and largely insistent that I spend more time on fishing and acquiring aquariums. So for him, you will see me take some wholly unnecessary time out from the pig farm to work on fishing. I grabbed the iridium rod, the trapper bobber, and an aquarium, then caught a whole bunch of fish. And a little bit of treasure. I put some of the fish in the community center because I still needed some fishing bundles to be completed. Which, there you go, I completed 3 fishing bundles. That's awesome. And then I put some other fish in this tank that fits perfectly right here in my home. And that is for you, honey. It looks fantastic, and I hope you love it. Some iridium bars are ready to go, so I'll just keep the smelting going. Also, I've got some resin that I can harvest, and my golden axe to pick up. After I left Clint's, I used it immediately on the entire forest again. And while I was in the secret woods, I caught the wood skip. After that, a little bit more smelting, because I always got to keep that flowing. And then I went back to the community center, Put some more things in there. Finish the golden crop bundle. These hardwood trees are ready, so I went ahead and chopped them down. So much easier to cut down trees now. I absolutely love it. That's a lot of hardwood. That will really help with the fences. Good night, fishies. On fall 9, after doing some farm chores, I headed to Robin's to buy a bunch of wood. And then I built silo number 8. It's looking great over there. That is not the last one. I built some more kegs and added those to the shed. Yeah, and I know it looks weird, and I know I've said this before, but it is kind of a nightmare to place them with a controller. I went back to the desert, and you might think that I'm going to the Skull Cavern, but actually, I was going for the sandfish. And once I caught that... Ooh, and some treasure. That's not good treasure. I went back into the Skull Cavern. A red slime egg is not 25 auto petters, but it is worth a lot of gold. And that is all for this one, team. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out when you do that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!